Hey everybody, you are listening to the Zero Altitude Outdoor Podcast with your host, Brandon Garrett. For this podcast, we would like to thank Txtorches, offering quality lighting solutions at affordable prices. Our favorite are their headlamps, the Elite Series and the Predator Series. Super bright LED, fully waterproof, rechargeable, backed by a limited lifetime warranty. That's Texas tough. You can reach them at Txtorches.com. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Zero Altitude Outdoors. We're here, man. Day 3, Colorado rifle. Got our fire going. Got our pork tenderloin wrapped in bacon. And we are doing it up. So, let's talk about our trip so far. It's been a heck of a trip.
Where do we start?
Oh, it's been crazy. Like before we even made it, we had so much trouble. Breakdowns, blowouts, leaf spring. Whew, we had so many issues before we even made it. We actually started in another unit. We spent how many days there?
2 days.
2 or 3. We spent 2 or 3 days in another unit. We actually did find some elk. We never seen a legit bull. We did see some cows. We had plenty of days before season open. On the 30th, we had 4 days? It's gotten 5 days, something like that.
Almost 5 days.
Yep. So we did some scouting, just the way our vacations and time off, lined up. We had so many days ahead. But we did some scouting and riding around, and we did find some elk, and so we put that in our pocket, and we come to the unit where we planned to hunt, and man, what a shocker. We were wore out trying to get over here. It was 3 hours away. We made it in town, and man, snow was so deep. This is a little bit higher country. Needless to say, we got stuck on our first morning trying to get in here, and it was horrible. We had the 4-wheeler in the trailer. We have you might see it back there. We have a 10-foot enclosed trailer, 4-wheeler. We had to pull it out. My truck was stuck. We had to unhook the trailer.
Had to get the bubble rope.
Oh,
got to snatch it.
Yeah, it was a fiasco. We stuck like everything we had. So we was able to use the 4-wheeler to hook to the trailer and back it down to a little part where we could turn around and get out of here, because we obviously needed chains. So,
and we were going to get chains, but
we never made it.
Never made it.
We pulled over like 9. I think all the stores and whatnot we checked on in this area, they closed at 9. We didn't make it. We were too tired.
Slept in the truck.
Yeah, we slept in the truck. It was freezing.
That was rough.
Yeah, everything hurt. But we was like, well, let's get up to the mountain, as soon as we got up. So we head on it up here just, that morning, and oh man, didn't make it. We ended up going all the way back to town, which is about an hour away.
Yep.
We bought chains, which 2 sets of chains, not cheap. And the only place we found them was O'Reilly's. For my size, my tires. I didn't want to take no chances. We bought 2 sets. Whew. So anyway, we got back to the mountain like noonish. I know we got lunch.
Yep, got lunch.
Went ahead and got some other stuff.
Other necessities.
Like that. We got other stuff that we needed or whatever, and we come on back. But we did some scouting here too, and man, we didn't realize how deep the snow was, and
Well, that first hike.
That first day, hike, yeah. A good snowstorm just come through that week, and
which we were anticipating to be a little later.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it already come, and it was a shocker. So of course we had the gear. We got all the right gear for it, and just the terrain was. It's never like you expected. Onyx lies, Google Earth lies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where you think you can make it?
Yeah.
It's a straight cliff.
So our original plan was going to go down the creek and we are going to hike this one side. It was like straight wall cliffs way up there. There's no way. Running water was freezing. We hiked in like a foot of snow and
over our gators.
Yeah, it was just retarded. So yeah, we didn't see any sign and no way to get up to where we were going to go, so we scratched that off the list. We went up a pretty well-known hiking trail, and there was nobody in here at the time. Now we're deep in here, deep. I don't even know, 40 minutes deep, something like that. And we went up this hiking trail, 5 miles.
Yeah,
5 miles in the snow, foot of snow.
And nobody had cut that trail.
Nope.
Not even a horse.
Nope.
Nothing.
We got up there, we didn't see any game, no sign. So we had some other issues we had to take care of. We're struggling to find service to take care of some stuff. So we had to go do that. So we decided to turn around. We didn't think it was worth it to keep going. So we turned around and come on back down. Change camps, move camps.
Yep.
Come up with a different game plan. Now later, like this is in, like Friday, the day before season. We went on a little stroll, went on a little ride, and we seen I guess an outfitter had like 5 horses, moved in. Big camp come in, several people in trucks done come in. Now granted, like when we come in, you need a change. There's no getting in here without chains. So now everything's starting to dry out and getting kind of muddy and halfway drying. People starting to get in here, and 4-wheel drive vehicles, change or not, they starting to get in here. So more and more camps start popping up. Before you know it, the area that we were planning on hunting had like 10 or 12 people going to go down that trailhead. And we was like, might need to rethink this strategy. So we were going to hunt the pressure instead of hunt the elk, pretty much. Where they were going into, we decided to come around behind them, and there's a big drainage, a big creek. We were going to let them push the elk to us. So we moved camps to the head of that creek, which is a beautiful spot, by the way. It's nice.
Very nice.
And man, they had a little setup, little grill and everything. They knew we were coming. But we moved camps, and that first morning, opening morning, we took off up the creek. Man.
Mind you, it's supposed to be 1.5 mile.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were high cotton.
Well, we had thought 1.5 miles is where there was a burn, okay, and the burn come to the edge of the creek. So it's like 1.5 miles where we need to go to get to that burn. Okay, this is where the elk we anticipated was going to come over, even when they got pressured, hit this drainage, yada yada yada.
We'll be waiting.
Well, we left before daylight. We struck out. It looked great from the head of the creek. The deeper we got, the worse it got.
More dangerous.
It got dangerous. Let me tell you, it was just stupid. I didn't have my rock climbing gear in my pack, but it was needed.
Very much needed.
Yeah, we almost died.
Yeah.
So we had to stay in the drainage, in the creek. Like literally, we crossed the creek 1,000 times. boots wet, you know, we're all wet, snow, ice, you know, slippery. Guy is so slippery, and so we're having to stay because there's like cliff walls, and this creek is turning and winding, and we're like, dang man, you know, that's more than a mile and a half. Well, hey, you know, that's the drainage we was gonna look at right there, and it's like straight up. How we gonna get up there? Oh. So we just kept on going. We ended up 3.5 miles.
3.5 miles.
And we tried 2 or 3 times to get out of this thing, because the deeper we got, the worse it got. So we were like ready to get out of this.
Yeah, the deadfall we had to cross, that was snow covered.
Oh.
You couldn't see the holes.
Yeah.
Waiting on any minute to just one of us to disappear.
It was dangerous. Deadfall piled up in this creek, you know, rocks, snow so deep you don't know where the holes are. It was so crazy. Waterfalls we had to navigate to try to get
up. 2 or 3 waterfalls.
So yeah, it'd be just crazy stuff, you know. We're having to navigate, so we're talking 9:30, and we ain't even into elk yet. Like, yeah,
we're still stuck in the bottom.
We're still stuck in this canyon. We actually tried. We seen a little point, you know, where it turned. And was like, hey, you know, let's try to get up there. We can see, and maybe, you know, it kind of looked okay to get out. We started climbing, and we were literally like hanging on to roots and stuff, trying to get up this freaking cliff. This red clay, rocky cliff. I got up there a little ways. Shelby kind of stopped. You know, I told him to stay back just in case we couldn't get up or get over or whatever. I kept going like a retard. I got way up there, and I was like hanging on for dear life, and there was loose rocks. I kick a rock, and it's just...
Yeah, I see rocks going down. I couldn't see you because you got behind a tree. And I'm still waiting on you, and I'm seeing these rocks go. I don't see nothing. I'm like, what happened? He fall, knock himself out. What's going on? So I start climbing up, slipping and sliding. Finally, I get up there, and you up there on the side of a freaking flat, straight up rock. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. Well, if I can get to here, I can get. But I don't know if I can get down. It's like, oh my gosh.
I was hanging on for dear life. That's what I was doing.
That was steep, bro. Yeah, one slip, you were gone. You weren't stopping.
You know, I was bound and determined to get up there, because I can kind of play out my move, how to get up there, and then I can jump over from rock to rock, and then like climb on the shelves. They're like little shelves of rock, right? So I can climb up there. I'm literally hanging on to the side of this thing, looking down, and right there I just realized, like, this is not worth it. I'll be toast if I slip.
And you didn't know what was on the other side.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I could see that right there, you know, 20 or 30 yards. But on the other side of that, I was like, man, what if I get up there and, like, we can't go to the top? I decided to come down. I didn't know how to get down. You know, it was all backwards trying to get down. Oh, that was rough.
That was the first attempt.
Yeah. Oh.
To get out.
Yep. We made it down a little bit further, and we had a second attempt. Like, this is dangerous. I mean, like, big boulders was covered in ice. We were like jumping up on and hanging on to deadfall, you know, shimmying up the deadfall, and then.
Yeah, and the second one looked like it was going to be passable. So we look up, you know, we see it kind of bend around, looks like it comes bend around to the left. It looks like it actually gets up on top where we could actually probably get to the burn.
Yep.
So you go first, I go behind you, and we go up. We realize we're about halfway of being straight up.
Yeah,
it's all cliff, straight cliff all around. We see it.
Yep.
So we're like, all right. So you start down, I go behind you, and then I bent my trekking pole, which that saved me from falling off of the whole thing. Probably, I don't even know, 40 foot, maybe 50 foot.
Yeah, because you were sliding.
I was gone. Trekking pole, thank God it saved me. Bent it up, and then, get my feet. and get down about what 10 foot from the bottom. Feet go out from under me. Woo! Here I come down.
Yeah.
And all I saw was compound fracture coming.
Well, see, I had already jumped down, and it was just it was a crazy ordeal. Just dangerous, very dangerous. I don't even know why we were trying to attempt this stuff. We just wanted out. Yeah. So I was standing down there, and I had almost fell. And I was like, man, I better get down here just in case. So I walk around, you know, about where I almost fell. I'm like watching Shelby. He was, you know, trying to place his footing and all this stuff, and he slipped. Here he comes. So I was like, oh, I'm right there to keep
right
him from
on a
falling.
rock too.
Yeah,
a rock down there. Luckily, it was a flat, kind of solid rock.
yeah, it was deep snow, so you can't see where you was landing. So we got lucky with that. That could have been bad.
Yeah, we might have had to hit the old end reach.
The old button. I think helicopter would have had trouble.
Yeah, we thought about it afterwards. Like, man, if something did happen, I don't think a helicopter could come in here and get us.
No, man.
I don't think horses could come in there and get us.
Search and rescue team would have. They probably would have said toodaloo, buddy. Yeah, it would have been bad.
Yeah.
But a little while later, we ended up finding a way to get out of there, and we climbed straight up out of there.
I've never been so happy to climb. Never.
Yeah, we climbed up out of there. And after we got up out of there, we started seeing some decent country and saw some other hunters. And then we started seeing some signs, so it started looking up, you know. And we ended up finding a pretty good sign later that evening up on top of that ridge. And man, that's kind of what led us to where we are now. We ended up going on the north face of that same very ridge. They were using the top of it real good. There was a little saddle. We found a bunch of sign on that saddle.
Big tracks.
And oh yeah, big tracks. And you know, with snow, it's hard to tell how old it is. You know, if it's really, really fresh, you can kind of see little things, you know. But if it's a couple days and it's deep snow, it's really hard to tell. Especially if it's not frozen or whatever, it's still kind of powdery. And anyway, so we were following tracks and definitely found the elk and where they were going and
bedding.
Oh yeah, bedding. And lots of sign. We seen some deer. And anyway, so the next day we decided to take a different approach and screw that creek. So we go on down the way a little bit and we hit another trail, a little trailhead. We head in, hunting the same ridge, and we slip in there a couple miles, and we found all the tracks where they're crossing and what they're doing. They're coming out of that one north face and heading over here to the south. And anyway, so we made our round and we got on some fresh sign. Shoot, that was another 8-mile day. We still didn't see any live animals, but we followed sign all day.
Fresh sign.
Yeah, it was fresh.
We weren't far behind them.
Nope.
Not a bit.
Nope. They were sliding in the mud and everything
over
else.
Our tracks.
Yep. So we were doing something right. We found this hole. So we'd followed this trail all the way around the mountain, and we stopped in an open spot where we could see a long ways, and we took a little nap, whatever. Bunch of snow. We kind of noticed, we looked on our Onx and we noticed a private boundary and a drainage going in it. And it's like, man, this is where all the elk tracks are leading to. Huh. There's no human tracks. Nobody's been around. This could be something. So we kind of looked into that and went into this drainage, and sure enough, man, it's like a little honey hole where they escape from all the pressure going in there. And man, did it pay off. We still haven't killed one as of yet, but today was a good day in the elk woods.
How many elk?
We seen 60 plus today.
60 plus.
Several bulls.
Probably 4 or 5 at least shooters.
For
sure.
Oh yeah, there was that in that one group.
Right.
So so today's day 3. We went into this area. We took a different approach to this honey hole, and we hiked straight up this oak brush mountain. Straight up. We're talking like 2,500 feet elevation gain straight up. It's rough.
Getting pulled back by every.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't nothing nice. So we decided to do that because it was a shorter distance versus walking the trail, which is a lot easier all the way around for 6 miles, 7 miles just to get to the same area.
Right.
So we got up there this morning, immediately heard bugles. So we were on elk right off the bat, and bugles and second rifle is just, it don't
rare.
happen. Yeah,
Right.
It don't happen. So we're all pumped up, and we can see a back of a ridge of this drainage. We walk over on this ridge, and we look, and we glass cows. We seen 20 cows, a spike or 2, right?
Yep.
So we're pumped up. We see animals. Granted, they are just inside private, but we see them. So we hanging out on this ridge, and I think Shelby looked up. We heard a bugle. That's what it was. We heard a bugle. And then Shelby looked up on the ridge, and sure enough, a bull was heading up the ridge. And we tried to get on him. He was a good one. He was a pretty good one. 730 yards or something like that. 730 something. And I couldn't get on him fast enough. I tried to dial my scope in, and he was on a mission. He was moving up that ridge, and just couldn't get on him. We lost him. We'd run up the ridge, and we were still, cow calling and stuff, glassing. We couldn't find him. So anyway, we come on back down. I was hanging out, and we had the other one bugle. Right below us. Yeah. So right below us is a north face dark timber, and he bugled. It was like 9:30. Like, oh man, he's coming out of where those cows were, up this drainage, just like the other bull. So we run up again, anticipating he was going to do the same thing. Of course he didn't. He turned and come into that dark timber right below us. And bedded. And we hung out. 11:30, he bugled again.
In his bed.
So we're like, man, we're at least a couple hundred yards up there. Like, what do? We can't see. We can't go down there and bump him. We're trying to figure out a plan to get around and glass back down in there. We were trying to think of everything we could do, try to get this bull. And so we're sitting on top of the ridge, glassing and stuff. And I look over on the ridge, and behind us, it's like 1,300 yards away. And I started glassing into that north slope, and I ended up seeing what I thought was a deer or an elk.
It was good.
It
looked good.
It was like a clump of bushes. It was like even balled up like an animal would lay down. And anyway, we got excited over that. And a few minutes later, I did find an elk. It was on a shelf midway up, 1,111 yards, and it was a bull. So at first it looked kind of small. It looked like a spike, and then we could tell he had like a little fork, it split. And he would turn a little bit, and I'd see a little.
You saw royals one time he turned.
Yep. So I was like, okay, he's a shooter, We looked, and we counted 4 on one side, and I was like, man, I think he's a shooter. So we were like moving positions, trying to get a better look on him, and I got my scope up, and it's a little bit more powerful than the binoculars that we had. And anyway, I got to looking at him. It looked like a legal bull. So I was like, okay, we might play, do a play on this one. So we had that one. It was across the canyon at 1,100 yards, and we had a bull bedded behind us. So I'm like, dang, it's a good problem to have here. So I decided to make a play on the bull bedded, since I could see him. And he wasn't going nowhere for a couple hours at least. Like I say, this was like 11:40 now, 11:50.
Yep.
And anyway, so I ended up running down the ridge, trying to get a better vantage point and a closer vantage point. Because I've shot 1,000 yards, but I've never shot 1,100. So I was trying to get under the 1,000. And I'm shooting a 300 Win Mag. So I got over there to this vantage point, and it was like 880, I think, something like that. I can't remember. So that's well within 1,000, but I just couldn't pick him up. I couldn't see him. Shelby stayed on the ridge top, making sure the bull stayed there. You know, because if you get to moving around and he gets up, you lose him. You never find him. So Shelby, you know, indicated, hey, he's still laying down. I couldn't find him, so I moved around the mountain there, back and forth and up and down, trying to get a visual on him. Finally found a place where I could see. So Shelby, come on down, and 950 yards where a little spot where we found. And man, we messed around there because I was trying to get comfortable. And if you ever shot long range on a mountain and it's not flat, oh, it sucks. It sucks. So I was like stacking up our packs and stuff. I was trying to lay down, and my legs were above my head, and oh, it was just stupid. So I couldn't get a good leaning back position either. It wasn't that steep, but I ended up finding a little tree, a little cedar tree. I kind of leaned up on and got in. Anyway, I finally decided there was a few little branches, like little small stuff in front of him. I decided to try to shoot, and we shot. He had no idea what was going on, and I missed. And what was crazy was we couldn't. I had Shelby. He was right behind me with the binos on the tripod. He was going to see my vapor trail and tell me what I needed to do. You know, my spotter. We couldn't even see a vapor trail. No, we couldn't see snow blow up. We couldn't see limbs breaking, nothing. So the bull stood up.
Yeah, he didn't have a clue.
No.
Didn't have a clue.
Nope. And we couldn't tell where we were hitting. So I didn't know what to do either. I had no clue either. And I got my dope right, you know. I think I adjusted right. I just didn't know what the wind was doing. The wind was swirling on our end. It was swirling over there. I could see trees moving. I could see the mirage moving from right to left. So, man, it was just tough. That's a long shot.
Yeah, across the canyon.
Yeah, across the canyon. I'm letting it ring across the mountains. There's no telling what those people. We see some hunters on the trail below us. There's no telling what they thought. But that 300 Win Mag, man, with a muzzle brake, it was just echoing across the mountains. But anyway, he'd got up and fed kind of away, and he took off down the mountain, got into some dark timber, and we lost him. We kind of sat there for a couple of hours.
Yeah, because he was slow moving. He moved.
Yeah.
He sat in one spot 30 minutes almost.
Oh, yeah.
Without moving?
Yeah.
Disappeared into thick stuff.
Yeah. And you're speaking of thick stuff, it's amazing the elk we pass up. It was funny that when I first spotted that bull, we'd glassed up and there was a hunter just above him, a couple 100 yards on the top of the mountain, you know, on top of the ridge, glassing around, and he never seen this bull. This bull's in the dark timber on a ledge, just, you know, dozing off in the sun. Never seen him. So it's amazing that elk we pass up. We never even know. But anyway, we lost him in the thick stuff, and we sat there a couple hours trying to find him, and we ended up giving up. So this is about 4 o'clock. Like, hey man, let's, you know, we had the bedded bull over there. We head up the ridge, and man, as soon as we got up on top of the ridge, I'm kind of going to our best little glassing spot, you know, where we can see the most. As soon as I get up there, Shelby ain't even made it up there yet. And I look up and I seen 2 cows just running down the ridge. So I'm like trying to get my rifle off. I can't get it unhooked. Got this sling and all this junk on my pack, and I'm trying to get it off. And Shelby's like, what? What is it? I'm like, come on. There's elk, man. So okay. So he come up there. And those 2 turned into 4, and then 4 to 8, and 8 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 40. Like,
it's like they opened the floodgates.
Dude,
let them go.
Crazy.
Elk everywhere.
That's the most elk I've ever gotten into, like, by accident like that. And they started coming down this ridge. They were all in a hurry. They were running. And I'd seen a bull. It was a little satellite bull. I was like, hey, there's a bull. Oh, there's another bull. There's a spike. There's another spike. That's a jacked up one. There's a big bull. Oh, there's a big bull in the back. And sure enough, like we were all excited, you know. We kind of get a little overly excited. So the footage is like all over the place, and I'm like freaking, I don't even know where I'm at. I black out, you know. So I'm like, what's the range? Where's the bull? And this and that. I can't see him. Can you see him? No, I don't know. Yeah.
Trying to film, range, binos.
Yeah, we need another person.
Yeah, we do. We need another third person dedicated just to filming.
Yep. Well, so we're all over the place, and you know, this is all happening in a split second.
Yeah, it's
you know?
fast.
And they are hauling it down this ridge.
They covered, dude, probably,
shoot, that's a quarter mile.
Yeah, if not about half a mile.
Within a few seconds. And I think they got pushed, but I'm guessing by another hunter. And they hit this drainage that we've been watching. And man, you can hear them just tearing up all the brush and logs. And it's snow now. You can't really hear them in snow, but you can hear them going through the brush. And logs pop in and all that stuff. So we bolted down this ridge, and by the time we made it 100 yards, these elk had done covered a quarter mile. You know, crazy. We shucked all of our stuff up, and like, I'm going down in there. I'm going in there, you know,
in that dark timber.
In the dark timber, try to get shot. And sure enough, we shook our jackets, shook our packs, and put our orange back on, our binos, and we bolted down this drainage, this dark timber. I made it 100 yards, maybe. And you know, I started slipping because I could hear them. You know, I could hear them pop in and moving around. Then I started hearing cow mews. So I'm like, oh man, I'm getting close. I just wanted to get myself in a position so I could see. If I could see through there, or at least on the other side of the drainage, I could shoot. By the time the bull cracked off, or we were actually headed down there when he cracked off, and I started getting closer and closer, and then he screamed, and I could hear these cows. I just stopped when I realized that they're moving up. They had already made it way further than I thought. They're moving up, and I look over and I see the cows, and then I seen a big giant bull. He was massive, and I seen a spike, and there was brush. You know, this is like 20-25 yards away. There's brush and trees and stuff, and I see the bull walking from right to left. So I'm like, oh, okay, here's my chance. So I throw up on him, and he's right behind a tree. And when I get on him, he just like, out of nowhere, he had his head back, like pushing the cow. He popped and looked right at me. I got on him, I put it on his head, but my freaking scope was still zoomed into 20. I was like, dang. So I come down. I went back all the way to 5, I think it is. I got back on him, and when I got back on him, I could see the white in his eyes. He realized he done messed up. And this is all in like a second. Soon as he seen me, I seen him. He wheeled. And I just knew when one of them wheels like that, they just got done being scared, you know.
Yeah.
I knew they were all gonna bolt. So he freaking wheeled and bolted, and he took off broadside. And I had one little hole in some brush, and I just like, I mean, that was my only chance. I shot through there, and the whole woods just tore apart. Freaking out, took off. And sure enough, Shelby came down and was looking around. No blood. I had 2 bullets left, and I ended up somehow bolting, and I don't know what happened to the other one. It fell out somewhere in the snow. We couldn't find it. But I didn't hit him. We ended up looking. I was expecting me to hit a tree because there's a lot of brush. We ended up seeing my bullet hit the dirt right there. The bankment kind of went up, or went over, and the bull was just down below it. So when he took off, I hit the dirt. But he was giant. He was.
Yeah, I seen him coming down the hill, a couple of the spikes in front of him, and right away, I mean, no doubt, this is 360 bull or plus.
Oh, easy job.
Easy. And that was what, 580 yards?
Yeah.
Straight on to us.
Yeah, so 20 yards, man. 20 yards. He was massive. And yeah. That stuff like that just don't happen a lot. To luck up into something like that. But to screw it up, you know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I got in a hurry to try to get down there, and they were moving up faster than I expected. But I'd love to have that over again. But yeah, he was huge. That's the one you put in the back of your truck and ride around town. Yeah, he was huge. But anyway, so that was our day. 60 plus elk, several bulls. I did shoot at 2, missed 2 today.
Yeah, that one, he was a good 6x6.
Yeah, he was a decent 6x6. That's he. Yeah, when he stood up, we could see him really good. And you know, he turned broadside and stuff like that. We can count his points and really get a good look at him. And he was a lot better than we thought. But
also seen the mama bear and the 2 cubs.
Oh yeah, right behind him.
Right behind him.
Yep, I've seen mama bear and a couple of cubs. So that's pretty cool. I do have a bear tag. I think it has to be a solo female and a pretty big male, I believe, over 150 pounds or something like that. Yeah. So in order for me to shoot it, but, we did see some bear tracks today. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, on that same deal.
Yep, right where we shot at. But game plan for tomorrow, man. We're going to go back up there. That's a pretty good little place. We're going to go back up there. I'm sure we're going to have more pressure because we kind of gave away our position a couple times today.
What did we count? Probably 18 that went in that?
Yeah, 18 people signed in to the trail that we're on.
18.
Yeah, so welcome to Colorado Rifle Hunting. And they did spot us. I glassed them, glassing us. A couple different groups of them. So they did spot us, and we did shoot a few times. So it is what it is. We might have some company. We're going to get up a little bit earlier in the morning and beat them to it. We're going to get up there on our ridge and see if, you know, that group of 40-something or the other 20-something that we seen, or the other 2 bulls that had nothing to do with those, see if they come out of there, and we'll be waiting this time. I think we're going to bring the spotting scope and the phone scope this time too, and I think that was a big key in shooting long range and seeing the vapor trail and stuff like that. So we're going to bring the truckload of bullets with us this time. I just brought a handful of bullets, and I did run out today. I dropped one. I lost one, but I did run out. So we're going to bring more this time, and we're going to have a better setup for long range if it ever happens again, and we'll have it.
We'll be ready.
So that's the game plan. Day 3, day 4 tomorrow. We got 3 days left. Hopefully I can hold one in my hands. That'll be amazing.
But we are eating good.
Very good.
Like top shelf. What we have? Wagyu
burger, Wagyu
steaks,
tenderloin, chili.
We got some
popper shrimp. Shrimp.
What we have?
Bacon.
Axis chili.
Axis chili. Yep.
Yeah. Top shelf.
Yeah, we've been eating good. We've been living it up here, Colorado. A lot different than our normal style, backpack style hunting. We do the old mountain house and peak refuels. But anyway, we're gonna sign off, and hopefully in the next 3 days we can get it done.
Yes, sir. We're in them.
So for tonight, the Campfire Chronicles, I want to thank Txtorches in the background over there with the light system. That thing's been running strong all night and all day. So appreciate it. See y'all next time. Thank you guys for listening to Zero Altitude Outdoor Podcast. We appreciate any feedback, positive or negative. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Zero Altitude Outdoors.